The Xbox gave an entire generation some of their greatest gaming memories, but for many it was more than that. It defined creativity, friendships, and how a person saw the world. Here's how a red ring of death and a Kinect mic changed a life. The Xbox 360 wasn't just a console for an entire generation, it was the console. It even outsold the PS3, though only by a million units. Games like early Halo, Minecraft, and Call of Duties were staples for many early Gen Z kids, including myself. How many of us remember staying up all night only to panic shut down the console and pretend to be asleep when our dads started getting ready for work? For me, no gaming console series had the lasting effects quite like the Xbox did. My intro to gaming. It's Christmas morning, but the cheer is complicated. My parents are going through a divorce, and while I'm too young to fully grasp it, my older brother understands everything. We both just hope that whatever is in those wrapped boxes will provide a welcome distraction. I open my gift first and see the name Xbox. Not knowing any better, I just shrug. Then my brother opens his. His face lights up completely. I read the box, Xbox 360, bundled with Halo 3? I had no idea what any of that meant, but judging by his expression, our lives were about to change forever. Memories. A year or two before I had my own 360, I played on my brother's fat, white 360 console. This console was the stage for so many gaming experiences. For example, many late-night MW2 offline custom game lobbies with his cool skater friends. I was occasionally allowed to join in, running straight to him so he could essentially boost his guns and player level. If anyone remembers the offline Call of Duty days, you earned next to no XP per match since offline play was becoming an afterthought. He still managed to hit max rank though, which was sick. I can still picture us celebrating that moment to this day. This great achievement would soon be overshadowed by a few red LEDs, however. One day after school, my brother wasn't home, so like any twerp brother, I decided to play his 360 and assume his throne. This might have been one of the worst decisions I have ever made. The console was turned on, only to see the signature green lights replaced by a few ominous red ones. I didn't know at the time how serious this was. There was just confusion. Why wouldn't it turn on? After a while, I had to flee the scene. When my brother came home and found out, he interrogated the whole house. The time of reckoning had come. I waited for the explosion, but surprisingly, he handled it better than expected, only scolding slightly. Looking back, it wasn't really my fault. It was common with those poorly designed Xboxes. He still holds this and another incident involving a Kinect's roller coaster, rightfully so, against me. In jest, of course. Obtaining my own 360. Another Christmas passes and now I'm around my brother's age when he got his 360. My family is split up and I'm still using my old offline only original Xbox. My mom had mentioned getting the Xbox Live, but that was just as the service was ending for the original console anyways. This time, at my mom's house, I open my presents, and what do you know? It's a brand new Xbox 360 Slim, with the silly old Kinect and Kinect Adventures. Oh, and one of the best games ever created. Kinectimals. I honestly play those games quite a bit. I even remember playing Dance Central, that goofy Just Dance knockoff, with my mom and sister. And getting my mom to play any video game was very difficult, so this is definitely a core memory for me. I can't remember exactly when I got Xbox Live, but I do remember begging my mom for it while playing Gears 3 and finally getting the go-ahead. Xbox Live. Timeline should go like this. I get my Xbox 360 around Christmas 2010, and then Xbox Live Christmas 2011, right as I was playing Gears of War 3. My older brother helped me set it up for the first time, bestowing upon me the most badass 2011 themed gamertag of all time, Reaper X Shadow. I felt like I was being knighted. I hopped into my first match of Gears 3 multiplayer and immediately heard people vacuuming, yelling at their spouses, kids screaming, the usual. I cautiously spoke up for the first time using the Kinect's microphone, only to get flamed. The mic sounded like I was talking into a Pringles can. Discouraged, I retreated to my safe space, Halo. I jumped into a match of Halo Reach multiplayer, spoke up again, and was immediately made fun of for being a squeaker. No kid wanted to hear that. It was the most diabolical insult possible. Like any smart person, I turned off my mic and entered my mute phase. Eventually, I was able to get a decent Turtle Beach headset, which back then was so darn cool. Halo Reach became the space where I made some of my best memories and truly began developing my online social skills. Halo Reach and custom games. I was a bit late to the Halo Reach party, but this game would change me forever. My cousin and I started by running the split-screen campaign again. I remember one night, we tried to marathon the campaign, declaring we would pull an all-nighter, as all kids did. We fell asleep piloting our sabers during Mission 6, the Long Night of Soulless, and I woke up to our sabers flying endlessly in one direction. the game's soundtrack still blaring from the speakers. It's moments like this that prove gaming can be so much more than just a childish distraction. When I finally got to the Xbox Live era of Reach, things really changed for me. Modes like Gruntpocalypse, Invasion on Spire specifically, and Infected, where you try to get out of bounds glitch spots to survive the longest. But most importantly, custom games. Custom games in Halo are unlike any other experience I've had in gaming. By this time, I had a decent group of online and offline friends, and we even formed our own clan. The Wolf Clan. With that, our custom game sessions were epic. We played maps like Teacher, Ghostbusters, Jenga, countless race maps, and many, many more. We had so much fun that we dedicated our Saturday nights to Halo custom game nights. Everyone would log on, hop in a party chat, and the chaos would ensue. The host would have a fun custom game ready and just throw us into the gauntlets. To this day, I still remember the names of a lot of the folks we played with, even though I haven't talked to them since. I love the creativity of these modes so much that I started creating my own. I would spend days in Forge, making my own versions of existing maps and modes and adding my own little twists. When game night came, we'd all give them a shot. Some would be a complete hit, while others would be a total miss. Either way, our group always made something fun out of it. My friends and I would be in Forge for hours until one of us got bored and started pushing each other's buttons, like smashing someone's Forge monitor with a huge grid. Creativity enabling modes like this were common in early games, from Black Ops 2 to Minecraft to Halo Reach. They let players create their own maps and modes, generating seemingly infinite content. You just don't see this much nowadays. A lot of games have these battle passes and different expansions and DLCs. Not many games nowadays have easy ways of creating custom content. Minecraft. Minecraft is one of the biggest games in the world now, but there was a time when it was just a measly little demo on the 360 where you could play for only about 5 in-game days. Obviously, a free-to-play game, this sparked a lot of curiosity in little old Reaper X Shadow, so I decided to give it a try. My cousin and I would play that demo on loop, just wandering the tutorial world, riding the minecart, crossing the redstone bridge to the castle, or even digging straight down to see what mysteries lie below. One night, while helplessly mining straight down, only with my bare hands, we unfortunately found what was beneath the surface. We were digging when we heard a noise. We looked at each other, in terror. We heard it again. It sounds sort of like a zombie perhaps, but at the time we didn't even know they existed. It was absolutely terrifying. Looking back, I feel like this could have helped spark some of the curiosity and creativity that Minecraft is so great at doing. Minecraft is such a great sandbox for promoting creativity in not just children, but anyone who plays it. I still play today, sometimes with heavy conversion mod packs though. I created loads of maps and modes in Minecraft Sandbox. I remember creating large cities for Hunger Games maps, or Infected maps is set in a jungle temple. Minecraft is easily my choice for #1 game of all time, and it's easy to gush about how important of an experience it has been. I would love to go deeper into the Minecraft lore and backstory for Reaper X Shadow, so maybe someday I'll do that in the future. Title themes. At around this time, my new stepbrother and I were living together. I remember hearing many a title theme left on loop in the early mornings on weekends when I was just trying to sleep in. This was not just his subtle way of waking me up to play games with him, but it was also a way of just enjoying the genuinely amazing themes that would be on the title screens of 360 games. The one that sticks with me the most in this situation would be the Dead Island 1 song, Who Do You Voodoo by Sam B, a character in the game. He loved zombie games, so we would spend hours on things like Black Ops Zombies, which had a very iconic soundtrack, Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 as well. We liked playing the Versus mode in Left 4 Dead, as it was fun to be the monster. Games like Halo, Gears of War, Bioshock, Mass Effect 2, and many, many more. Not a lot of games nowadays even think about this edition, as everyone's just trying to go, and they press start. They don't sit there and linger and try to, build the atmosphere. Games like this still exist, but it's getting fewer and farther between. The end of the greatest era. So many great games were played on my 360 console. The ones mentioned are the ones that stick the most, but the list could go on and on. Depending on how this video is received, more videos focusing on specific franchises or titles could be created. But for now, we are approaching the end. The Xbox One was just around the corner even when my 360 was obtained. It seems that I was always late to the party with these things. Being so late only furthered the love and appreciation for older games, a passion that I still hold today. Most of my friends were a bit more well off than my family, so they had already started swapping over to the new Xbox One, leaving me in the dust. The pain was exacerbated by the fact that on the 360, you could see your friends playing their new Xbox Ones but not join or even talk to them. I would regularly send them messages hoping they'd come back to play something, but honestly, if I was them, I would have been way more interested in the new hotness as well. Eventually though, a plan was concocted. The scene. The end of standardized testing day in middle school. I was sitting there, waiting for the rest of class to finish when a plan started forming in my head. I had seen that GameStop was running a promotion. Get in-store credit toward an Xbox One if you trade in your old 360. With that in mind, I went to my dad's house after school and asked him to take me to our local GameStop with the entire game library in hand, most notably the entire Call of Duty and Halo franchise on disc. We went on our way. The trade was completed and the brand new Xbox One bundled with the famously bad Halo the MCC was in my grasp. I felt so much joy and happiness as this was the first Xbox console obtained through my own means. It felt like a small step into much needed independence. Looking back, however, it's likely the 360 should have just been kept. Jokes aside, this console helped me through just as many, if not more, mental struggles than the previous two. I was now a middle schooler dealing with a lot of home trouble, so the escapism was greatly appreciated. I started transporting the Xbox One between my mom and dad's house inside my old Xbox 360 carrying bag. Eventually, all sorts of games were tried with my friends. I remember putting a lot of time into Smite, Rainbow Six Siege, and Call of Duty again, but towards the end of console gaming, my destiny arrived. I was mowing lawns at the time, which was used almost exclusively to fund my borderline gaming addiction. I saved up and bought Dark Souls 3, Rainbow Six Siege, and most importantly, Destiny 1, bundled with every DLC. I started playing Destiny because my friends were getting invested around the time of Rise of Iron. I was eventually thrusted into a Crota's End raid run, and was hooked ever since. The entrance alone to that experience was top notch. I still play Destiny 2 in hopes that it can match feelings someday I felt once for Halo and it. But just like the feelings that can never be relived with Destiny, the glorious Xbox 360 and the heaps of custom content created on it can't be relived either, as it's likely in a trash heap somewhere. Now, my last owned Xbox collects dust on the TV stand, sort of as a reminder of what once was some of the greatest console gaming of all time. Closing. After going through these memories, it's clear to see that gaming has influenced my life in very meaningful ways, and the early Xbox is to be thanked for being a positive influence. Being late to each console generation was genuinely a blessing. Not having access to internet at such a young age promoted creativity and, most importantly, sparked an interest in older games and consoles. People grow, change, and share their wisdom, but games remain mostly the same as they were on release day. They don't grow or change. So the same experience you had as a kid can be replayed endlessly, to the heart's or mind's content. Walking into my cousin's room and seeing that little gray box on the floor, only to notice it said PS1 with a copy of Crash Bandicoot 2 in it, sparked something. Something that set me on a new kind of quest, exploring the history of gaming itself. A journey that started with a red ring of death and a Pringles can microphone, but continues to this day. Well, that's about that, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. This video is very special to me because I have a pretty bad memory, and reliving some of this stuff really helped me remember kind of who I am. Because in these last few years, I feel like post-COVID, I've kind of became a shell of myself. So getting to play through some of these old games for the gameplay footage, finding my original Xbox, turning it on, remembering the sound that it would make, the disc tray popping out and getting stuck. These little things that I forgot and have pushed to the wayside after becoming an adult and being kind of, shoved into the world. It's nice to be able to remember exactly where I came from, who I am, and the memories I've made. I do foresee myself trying to fix that original Xbox in the future, and I definitely foresee myself playing through the Halo franchise again. If you guys would like to see a video covering maybe the repair of my Xbox, or other video essays covering entire gaming franchises, please let me know in the comments below. And that'll be about it. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.
I'll drop a beacon, but it'll be a while before anyone finds us. Years, even. I'll miss you.
Wake me when you need me.
I've located the original Xbox. I have all my games here. This is the moment of truth. See if it'll power up after all these years. Well, you don't like to see that, do you? My god, it's Halo Combat Evolved! What? I don't know why it's blinking orange and red or green, but usually that's not a great thing. However, it's powered. Fuck it. We ball. It booted on. We got orange flashing here. Not sure why. Maybe that's just because the disc tray is open. I do recall this thing having disc tray problems. I remember having to really give it to it, but I don't want to break it. So we're just going to rock with it now. Unfortunately, or fortunately, unfortunately for me personally, the Halo 2 packaging lacks something crucial. The game. And I love to not put the games in the right cases when I was a kid, so it's possible that the Halo Combat Evolved case had Halo 2 and vice versa, and I just might not have Halo 2, which is very sad. Halo 2 was my favorite game, but if I can get this thing to work, I might get some B-roll footage on Halo Combat Evolved. Okay, so these are all the games that I remember putting a lot of time in that I still own. Halo Combat Evolved. Halo 2, this case, oh my god, it's engraved into my brain. I remember playing a lot of Call of Duty 3. The Xbox era was not... I was very small and brain dead, so most of these games I got like 10 minutes in and could not figure out. Enclave was a big one. I don't remember almost anything about this game other than the case. Back in this time, I was so young, I just thought, if the case is cool, the game's gonna be cool. Boy, was I very mistaken with this one. This one was not in my pay grade as like a 6-year-old boy. Big dinosaur guy, so Turok Evolution, obviously. This game sucked so much wiener though. ATV, I remember playing a lot of MX versus ATV, but I do also remember this game very, very vividly. I think there was some like weird like special tracks you could do that were like, yeah, like the indoor skate park kind of thing. That was cool. Halo Combat Evolved, duh. But Halo 2 was where my heart was when I was a kid. Just thought I'd share this few nostalgic games I remember playing.